Welcome to the Keto Twins Test Kitchen. Today we'll be trying to make the sold out Taco Bell, the Big Cheez-it Tostada. This is a giant Cheez-it that has all of the fixings of a taco on top, and it is definitely not keto, but we're gonna try to make it keto today. And I'm almost close to grating off my nose.
Don't do that.
Ow, I grated off my finger. So I came across a picture of this thing and I said, oh my gosh, what is that? That looks beautiful. And Taco Bell actually came out with a giant Cheez-it that they're putting all of the taco fixings on. And I said, that is right up my alley, because back before I started keto, I could sit down and eat an entire box of Cheez-its in one sitting. And I just looked this up because I honestly didn't know or ever care that about an ounce of Cheez-its is about 25 carbs. And I could eat an entire box. I don't even know how many carbs it would be. Hundreds at a sitting. We were looking on YouTube, and guess what? Joshua Weissman, a huge creator on YouTube, we love his channel. He actually made the Big Cheez-it Tostada on his channel. And of course that wasn't keto, but we thought we can definitely make this keto with a couple small tweaks. So the most important part about this recipe is the Cheez-it. If not, it's just going to be regular tacos, and we cannot have that. We must make it into the Big Cheez-it Tostada from Taco Bell. So we watched Joshua Weissman's video several times. Here is what we are going to use to make it keto. We have 7 ounces of shredded sharp cheese. We have 1 ounce of the cheese that he used in his recipe, which is called Elementor cheese, which sounds really intimidating, and it's actually, I think, a type of Swiss cheese. We have 1 cup of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. We have a half a teaspoon of xanthan gum and half a teaspoon of paprika. You're also probably going to need a couple tablespoons of ice cold water. We're going to be mixing our dry ingredients in a separate bowl first, because xanthan gum is really difficult to work with because you definitely don't want it to be not distributed properly. So we're going to mix in our dry ingredients into a separate bowl, and then we're going to get on with blending them together in the blender. We have all of our ingredients in the blender, and we're going to pulse it to start to combine it, and then we're going to decide if we need to add in ice water, and we're going to do that a tablespoon at a time. Ready?
Pulsing.
First tablespoon of ice water. We would be using a food processor for this if my husband did not break ours. So that's his fault. Another tablespoon of water going in. It's looking pretty good. It does feel kind of like a dough, which is great. There's just about enough moisture in there to keep it together when you press it down, and that's what you're looking for. We're going to be putting another piece of parchment paper on top, and I'm going to start rolling it out, and we're looking for it to be at about 1/4 of an inch thickness. Can I do 1/2 at a time?
Yeah.
I'm only going to be working with half of the dough at a time, just because it would be too large. That's it. That's what I had to say.
I'm having good vibes about this one. I might be jinxing it though.
Don't jinx it. So in the article that we read about the Big Cheez-it Tostada by Taco Bell, it said that their giant Cheez-it was 16 times the size of a normal Cheez-it. And Sarah and I guesstimated that a normal Cheez-it, from memory, was about 1 inch by 1 inch. So that would mean that this would need to be 4 inches by 4 inches, which would be 16 square inches. I don't have a belt loop to hang this on because I'm wearing stretchy yoga pants today. So we're going to measure out 4 inches by 4 inches and get these cut. And then we're going to continue on with the rest of this recipe.
No, don't cut all the way through. Okay.
Why is the back of your knife as sharp as the front of your knife? 4. That does not look straight at all. Wonderful. And then we're going to go 8. We're going to try to make 2 here. Or 6 more.
You're rushing it.
This is not me rushing it. This is me working with ease and accuracy. No. Since you're going to be rolling these out and then cutting the shapes out, it may get warm in the process, and you definitely don't want that. So the ice water that you added was supposed to make it cold, but then it might become warm as you're handling it. What you should do is put it in the freezer for a little bit, let it get nice and cold, and then you can continue rolling it out and working with it and recombining it and cutting out your squares. So that's what we're doing. We're going to make like 3 or 4 of these, and we may use the rest to make little Cheez-Its out of them.
Okay.
Our Cheez-Its are looking very promising so far. We're going to be using a chopstick to make the hole in the middle of the Cheez-It. And then Sarah says she wants me to score them a little bit so that they don't crack when they're cooking.
Surface level.
Surface level scoring, whatever that means.
I don't think you really want to go all the way through. You just want to make a little indent. That's enough. That's enough. You made like a little line, but not all the way through. Yeah, like that. Sure, whatever. Yeah, like that. Not all the way through.
These are going to go into a 350 degree oven for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to check on them.
Go ahead.
Our timer has gone off. It's time to unveil our Cheez-Its. The holes are gone. The indents are gone. Huh. That's interesting. It does smell like a Cheez-It though. We are going to be letting these cool down for 10 minutes, and then when they're completely cool, we're going to carefully transfer them onto a plate, and then we're going to put some toppings on there. I just want to point this out now, before anybody says it. I do not believe that you could pick this up and eat it like a normal taco. I think this is a fork and knife situation. In Joshua Weissman's video, he eats this with a fork and knife. And so that's telling me that this doesn't have the integrity to actually hold it up and eat it. So that is what we're going to do. And Sarah's going to talk about what we're going to be putting on top of our big Cheez-It tostada. Another important part of this recipe is actually what you're going to be putting onto your tostada. I make taco salads at least once a week in my house. We love it. We usually have it on Tuesday, like a Taco Tuesday sort of situation. So I just went with what I'm familiar with, but you can use whatever taco recipe that you like or enjoy. I really enjoy this seasoning packet by Frontera. So I made my taco meat by putting some ground beef into a pan and sauteing it and breaking it down into nice uniform chunks. And then I went ahead and added in half a diced onion. Then I went in with the Frontera sauce and I just mixed it to combine it, and I let it simmer until it was like reduced down and nice and thick, and I put that aside. The toppings that we're going to be including are some traditional toppings that you will see on a Taco Bell tostada, which include tomatoes, some iceberg shredded lettuce, and some cold cheese on top, and a sprinkling of sour cream. Our tostadas have been cooling off to the side for about 10 minutes. We're going to be transferring them onto a plate, and we're going to start building out our tostadas and putting on our toppings, and then we're going to go downstairs and we're going to try it. Here we are. And here are all of our dogs.
Yeah. Do we have a nappy pen?
Sometimes our dogs stay upstairs. When we made the flax tortillas, they didn't come down for that one. But for these tacos, they're definitely down here waiting
For some scraps.
Yeah. The indents on the Cheez-Its are gone, but you can't see them anymore because they're covered with toppings. We do have one here that looks like a giant Cheez-It. It's not as orange as a typical Cheez-It.
Yeah.
I wanted to throw in some food coloring in there. It's natural. But Sarah said no. It does smell like a Cheez-It, though.
Oh, yeah.
So we thought we would try the Cheez-It alone first. So should I just kind of crack it?
Maybe I can...
Crack it.
That looks pretty flaky to me.
Mm-hmm. It does remind me of Cheez-It.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
The overall flavor is really good. I do wish that it had, like, the little hole in it and stuff like that, but that's all right. You're not going to see it anyway if you're actually going to make this recipe. It tastes very cheesy. I'm glad that we used a, like, higher grade aged cheddar. I really feel like it helped make it more intense, the cheddar flavor.
I can't grab it. You know what? No.
Does it work out?
Mm-hmm.
Super crumbly, super cheesy. I'm really happy with this recipe.
Mm-hmm. Joshua Weissman, at the end of his video, he said, you know what it's missing? Lime.
Oh.
So I brought tahine. So there's dehydrated lime in here, which is a really, really bright punch of lime. Would you like some?
Sure.
A little bit?
Yes, sprinkling. Thank you. Okay. Oh, okay.
I actually really like this in creamy soups.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So good. Make a chicken soup. I sprinkle this on top of it. A creamy chicken soup. So good.
I really enjoy the Frontera line of sauces that they have and marinades. They generally don't have a lot of sugar in them. And I really enjoy this taco one. We use it almost every week when we make tacos. It's just so simple. Just throw the sauce in, add some ground beef, and some onion, and you're ready to go. But yeah, I'm super happy with the way this turned out. I might use the rest of that dough to make little Cheez-Its and have those on the side, you know, use them as crackers.
So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, which half of you haven't because we can see it in our analytics, please do consider subscribing. It's free and it really does help out our channel because when we hit 100,000 subscribers, we get a little magical play button that's silver from YouTube. So we are really, really working towards that and we thank you guys so much. So if you're still jonesing for fast food after you watch this video, we did do a similar video where we made Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets and their sauce and we compared them to the original. If you want to see that video, you can click right here and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.